light. I'm Reverend Harrison Roy Heskett, and you're about to see a lecture. When we begin the path, sometimes we do not know, for the path is windy, and we do not see the bends or the end. But as we travel the path, it becomes straight and narrow until we reach our goal. Sit back and intensify now your attention, concentration, observation into a meditative state, and open your contemplative and superconscious natures to absorb blessings.
Handling light and the voice. And we have the voice is the key mechanism for speech. Control, use it flexibly, widen range, meaning through tones, be heard, be understood clearly, be free from annoying vocal habits and distortions. The rate, which is the speed of utterance, pitch and projection, which is the location of sound and the animation and color from the voice. Musical scale, raising or lowering the key. Full resonance, which establishes the mood and of solemn or calm or excitement or tension. Force, which is the power using to reach the outer limits. The speed of the audience rate of comprehension. Adjustment to the situational demands of the audience. Master of breath control. Relaxed throat and neck. Energetic use of jaw, lips, and tongue. Looks like I'm missing one there. Blessings of light. clock is 4 minutes slow. Today we're going to be talking about the voice in controlling the vortex, meaning getting deeper into the darsham. We've already talked about the voice in the darsham and where the 5 sounds come from. You have a sound coming from the abdomen or the lungs, pushing the air up. That's one sound. The next is coming over the larynx, vocal cords, second sound. Third one is coming past the nasal cavity, or nasal holes in the back of the throat there. That's the third sound. Coming over the tongue is the fourth qualifier of that sound, and the fifth one is the lips. So we have those 5 levels of sound production.
And some people are talking here. It's like a fellow, he went into a restaurant and he said, "Say, waitress, would you give me a cup of that freshly squeezed carrot juice?" And the waitress says, "Okay." And he says, "Are you making fun of me?" And she says, "No, I'm not." And so she turns around and she says, "Would you please get a cup of carrot juice?" And some fellow on the other end, he says, "I'd like to have a cup of carrot juice too." And she says, "Would you give him a cup of carrot juice too?" And the guy will say, "Wait a minute, are you fooling me? Are you playing around with me? Are you making fun of me?" And she says, "No, I'm making fun of him."
You didn't get it, huh? Okay. That's what usually happens. We don't get it because of the vibration. In the speaking to an audience or working with a vortex, you are controlling the electromagnetic fields of that vortex. You're controlling the light and energy of that vortex. And the interplay of light and energy depends on the manifestation of sound and motion, creating the sound and creating the motion of the sound. The way you create the sound will give the color and the motion to the light. And so you have the light, and it can become brighter in darkness by the intensity of the projection of the sound too, and the qualifications of consciousness using the voice, qualifying your consciousness while using the voice. The voice is the key mechanism to speech. It's the key. It makes us different from other creatures on the planet in our voice because we have the widest range. The human is the most adaptable of all creatures, and he can imitate almost all the other creatures, but not the other creatures can imitate his sounds. It's interesting, isn't it? But man can imitate the sounds of other things. So man is the most adaptable creature on the planet. Not only is adaptable in his body and being able to live anywhere where all animals could live every place, but man could live anywhere. He's very adaptable there. He's also, that's what's made him greater than any other creature on the planet, is his adaptability. He can go into space, and no other creature on the planet can go into space. Isn't that interesting? The first thing that we learn about the darsham and the voice is control. And I would like everybody to come on time if they could, you know. Because once we start the channel, we have to keep breaking it up for everybody that walks in after. It's actually after 10 after, and we want to start the classes at 3 o'clock and end at 5 o'clock, so come on time, please. The first step is control of the voice. And it's important that you get control of your voice, and you must be conscious of your voice to get control of your voice. Because how you communicate with another person depends on how you use your voice. How your tones and expressions and inflections are coming across. If they're clear or if they're blurred. You see, if they're clear or they're blurred. So control of the voice must be gained by the individual. Now there are several ways that we give you to control the voice. One of them is called chanting, or sounding the mantra. Singing along with us in the church services and singing is another way. And so you should get control of the voice, taking it consciously. The ability of you being able to take control of the voice will be the ability that you are going to be able to control the listening of those people that are in your audience. When you are conscious of your voice and not conscious of your body and other things, then the attention is brought to your voice. Remember, when people are looking at you, they become conscious of what you are conscious of. When people are looking at your aura and they're open to what you're saying, they're going to be conscious of what you're conscious of. And so when you take control, by taking control of your voice, you also take conscious control of the attention in the room, because you are paying attention. So control is conscious control of attention and concentration and observation, and you're applying these to your voice. And you're merging with your voice, contemplating on your voice, and you're super conscious of the voice once you take the first 3 steps. So that's the first 6 steps of the path. Attention, concentration, observation of the voice. That gives you the willpower over the voice, and that'll give you the most control over the lower triad, and anyone looking at you gives you more control over their lower triad. And so you can turn it off or divert the attention that's usually going there to another level. And some of you realize that, and you're coming to me. You may be in one level of consciousness when you come in, but after I talk for a little while, you're someplace else. You're in another level of consciousness. Because what I'm doing is I'm controlling my voice, and I'm paying attention and concentrating my voice, and I'm observing my voice as well. One thing that you want to start to eliminate from your talk is irrelevant terms like "and" or those stretchers. And that's just a matter of keeping control. But when you have controlled silence, then people are waiting for your next words, you see. There's nothing going on. But when you're going, that gives them a chance to do something. And so what you want to do is you want to hold attention. Because by holding attention, the longer you hold attention, the more you're impacting consciousness. The more you're impacting. The longer attention, concentration, observation you hold on something, the more you impact that. The more you concentrate that, impact that, taking it from a broader awareness, maybe scattered, to a centered, concentrated awareness. And so it's a matter of getting awareness. Awareness is a product of paying attention, concentrating, and observing. You gain awareness. Then you become awareness by merging with it. You become greater awareness by contemplation of that, by repetition and vibration of that. And then you become master of awareness by the superconsciousness of it. And so in order for you to become master of your voice, you must become super conscious of the tones of your voice. Now your voice sounds different to you than it does to someone else, because it gets into your nasal cavities, it gets resonating in your head, in your ears, in your throat, in your body. Your voice is resonating. And so it is not always sounding the same to someone else as it is to you. They would have to actually be in your body to have that awareness of the voice. And so what you should do is also get a tape recorder or something and talk over the tape recorder and listen to how you're coming across, coming back, to get voice control. And so if you're going on the end or down on the end or pessimistic or yammy, yammy, yammy kind of stuff, then you can control that and take it out of the voice. All the andas or the jabbers. Take all of those things out that are nonsensical so that your talk will be clear. So controlling the voice can be done that way. Another way of controlling the voice is watching how your voice is coming out of you. Looking in a mirror and watching how it comes out of you, and we'll be talking about that a little later down the line here. But first of all is getting that control and actually feeling the air. Get into the air as it comes from the lungs up over the vocal cords, past the nasal cavity, over the tongue, and out the lips. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. And so that's done. That's before it's qualified by anything. That's how I started qualifying it, each step coming in. Find out what inflections of your mouth, your tongue, you're going over the nasal, over the back. Take it to the highest and to the lowest. You're expanding your voice, expanding the voice. And so that brings us to the second step. Use it flexibly. Don't just be talking blah, 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 like this all the time, and then you just get very boring, and then the people say, I'm right, and then, oh, good, I'm glad he stopped. Wow, yeah. Be musical when you're talking to people in your voice. Use a flexibility. And that way you can emphasize the words and bring the person down into where you want to bring them. See?
It doesn't mean talking like this, you know, and being that flexible.
Or, you know, talking like this, you know, it's not that kind of flexibility. High and low flexibility, going up and down.
If somebody was talking to me like this for about 20 minutes, after a while you get a really headache, huh? Oh, my goodness.
Some people think projecting is yelling out, you see. It's not yelling. It's where you're sending the voice in projection, which we'll talk about. But flexibility in your voice. Get that flexibility. You know. Get some flexibility. Flexibility is also rhythm. Getting a rhythm in your voice. Being able to speak slowly in your rhythm when you're talking to the people. Or you can speed your rhythm up when you're talking to the people and you're getting a little faster and you get really excited about it and you're really getting in tune with it, you're really going real fast with it, and then you're slowing down your rhythm and you just take your time when you're talking to some people. See, the rhythm of your voice, how fast and slow you use it, which is the rate, which we get into a little later. The flexibility here is very important to keep your voice flexible. Now remember, you want it to be true tones. You don't want off-key. You don't want minor chords. You want smooth chords. Because once you start working with your voice, you're going to notice that it has more than one tone coming out at the same time. There's going to be a low tone going on in the background. Then there's the, you know, to keep the tone, you've got one going on in the background as you're forming words out here. That part is learning to keep that steady flow in the background. Holds attention when you're talking. So there should be one part of your voice that is always oming. One steady sound when you are talking. Hold attention. You want to hold the attention of the group. But if there's nothing going on back in the background, then there's just the words coming out. Unless there's something flowing. Makes a difference. You notice you probably never thought of those things. And there's also a high pitch to your sound. If you listen, there's a high pitch coming out of that too. So there's a low, a medium, and a high, and you get aware of these pitches. sounds like a high frequency. One's going, the other one's in the middle. So get attuned to the three sounds coming out of your voice box. Start being flexible using those three sounds. Using the three sounds. Chant, be conscious of your voice. Do your mantra, be conscious of your voice. Sing, be conscious of your voice. Exercise your voice. Just like you exercise your body to get muscles in your body, you exercise your mind to get intelligence within your mind. Exercise your voice to get the variations and control of your voice. The wider range of meaning is done through tones. When you are talking, the wider range, you'll be able to impress a wider range of consciousness by the expansion of tones and by the use of tones in your voice. Using the tones to maintain a certain level of consciousness and attention when you're talking to somebody and bringing them up. You want to bring them higher in consciousness as you're talking to them. You want to lift them up in their spirit, and you begin to raise the tones of your voice, and you're getting very excited about it, and you're happy about it, and you're elated about it, and thank you! You get them down here and you lift them up by your voice. You can lift people or knock them down by the tones of your voice. You can be uplifting. You have a very happy, joyful voice. Or you can be an old grouch, and take everybody down. Oh, are they coming around again, Gee, it's too loud, too short. So widen the range of your meaning through the tones. And you should be intoning. And one intoning exercise that we do is we do it in the shower. And I gave this in the master class the last time we taught master classes about intoning. And intoning gives to the light, the sound, and the motion quality of vibration. Intoning the lowest chakra. Intoning the chakras, sending a vibration through each one of those. Excuse me. So you should intone sound and intone energy and pick the color that vibrates at that sound and visualize the color at the same time you're intoning. Get a little musical instrument that has the 7 keys on it or something that can give you an awareness of what that sound is. Excuse me. What you're looking for is taking and bringing your sounds, coordinating them with the chakras. And so when you're concentrating on a certain level of consciousness, the individual's nervous system is picking up that level at that vibration because you're consciously also sending it out from your chakra. And so you're connecting the voice to activate the energy of the chakra. Practice just doing the one note until you're familiar. When you go, ah, you're red. You see? Ah. Ah. what key you talk in, what color you're ordinarily talking in to their group. Because that's what you're going to stimulate them no matter what you say. That's where you're going to hit them. You see, you want control of the group. They've come for your control. And so you notice how some speakers, they up their tones to certain levels and they're talking up there all the time. When they're talking. And then others are us talking like this, and that's what they're saying, and they never get out of that level of talking, and no matter what they say, they're always coming at the same level to you, and that's the way it is. Ever hear people like that? No imagination, no nothing, no excitement, no anything, just this one study, that's all I am. I can't be anything, but I wonder why I'm so unhappy and so lonely and so tight here. I feel like I'm not expanding or anything. They're not. And when you listen to somebody, you can tell if they're expanding or not. Listen to the tones in just one sentence. Listen to your voice. Get voice consciousness. Listen to those tones to get the awareness. Another one now is to be heard. And if you're going to be heard or not, or if you're going to be heard or not, or if you're going to be heard or not. Some people, when you talk to the people in the first row and people in the second and third row, they don't get to hear unless they are included when you are talking. You talk to the person that is the furthest away. You want to be heard. Can you hear me back there? Am I clear? Can you hear me? Am I overpowering? Being heard isn't taking and talking so loud that the front is getting hit with a lot of sound to just get to the back of the room. You adjust to your room. You adjust to your room. You don't raise your voice. And if you notice, emotionals, in order to get control over this conversation, they'll keep raising their voice and getting louder, and they'll just talk right over you. Now, the intellectuals are a little more smarter. They wait for a break, and then they get in and don't stop talking. See? Don't go, or they got you. You see? They're waiting. They're going to jump right in. First opportunity. But the emotionals, they keep talking louder and louder and louder. They get talking louder and they don't get their way. They just get emotions into it and they get your attention. They get all emotional about it. And intellectual, he starts taking and cutting a little bit here and there. Well, wait a minute. If you didn't talk so much and let someone else talk, and then he talks for an hour. The other guy only talked for 5 minutes. You see, it's getting that control. When you're a teacher, a healer, a minister, you're in control right away. Understand that. You're always in control. That's your job, to be in control. As a minister, a healer, or a teacher, you should be in control at every moment. That's your job, to be in control. That's your responsibility, to be in control. Because the people coming to you, they want to be controlled. And they want to be controlled by themselves, not by someone else. So they want someone that's in control that can tell them how to be in control. But if you're not in control, how can you tell somebody else to be in control? Being heard is very important. And being heard is also clear distinction of consciousness. It's not talking with your mouth full, you see. It's talking directly to your group. And not talking off someplace else to someone else that may be, someplace else over there. How you doing over there? You see? Talking over here. You're talking towards the person's ears. Being heard, you're projecting your voice into each one of their ears. You're seeing your voice go into their ears. You're giving it direction through your visualization. You're seeing your voice go into the ear of the individual. Right into their ear. And many times I'm talking to you and I'm just talking right in your head, if you notice that. So I'll talk right in your head. I'll just talk right into your ears, into your head, and then you'll hear my voice. No matter what you're doing, you'll still hear my voice. Be heard. Be understood clearly. If you have anything that's slurring, anything that's jumbling words, practice being clear in your articulation. And the best way to do is to slow down and do it slowly. And practice slowly, and then you can speed it up. As you take it, get better and better, you can speed it up. You won't have any problems. Things will just flow real clear, quickly. Real clear. So you practice slowly and then speed yourself up so that you can have this clearness. It's very important that you're understood. And so you're talking to the least as well as the greatest in the group. You're talking to the one that has the least amount of attention and the least amount of information on your subject, and you're also talking to the one that has the most attention and the most amount of consciousness in the subject. And so what you're saying to be understood must be clear to both of them. And so when you speak simply, you are clear to both. You don't talk down to people or up to people. You talk to people. Not down or up, you're talking to them. Be free from annoying vocal habits or distortions. Any distortions, any vocal habits, you must get rid of. Clicking. I see guys standing around there talking. Let's see. Making noises. My goodness, where does it take you? Let's see. Any kind of those distortions, any kind of vocal habits that you get into. Vocal habits are also adding like and those kind. You want to get. You're here to do a job, and that is part of your job. And you must transcend your personality. Everybody's voice is predicated on their personal expression, and they must transcend their personal expression in order to get control of their voice. They must transcend their personal expression to get control of their voice. You see, the voice is something to get control of. It's not that what you are. You're not your voice, but you're using your voice like you use your body. It's part of the body, and it's the way the air is brought up out of the lungs.
They're taken into the lungs, and you know you can talk backwards too. I wonder if we all talked inwards
instead of outwards.
Boy, we all sound funny. Hi, how are you today?
Let's see, there's an accepted way of talking. See? There might have been a fight somewhere along the way. Some would say, well, we got to breathe in when we talk. Another would say, no, we got to breathe out when we talk. See, there could have been an argument about that. Well, we're doing it one way. And realize there's one way. There's one way to project. There's one way to get control. There's one way. And that's the way that works. That's the way that works. That's the one way. The one that works. So you don't want to try the ways that don't work. You want the ones that work. And so get rid of all the annoying vocal habits and distortions, because you have a lot of prejudiced people. You have a lot of people, if they're hung up on something that you are saying wrong, that may take away from all the thing you were saying in the whole paragraph or the whole message. They may get all caught up because you pronounce a word wrong. You see.
Oh, he's saying omnipotent instead of omnipotence. Why doesn't he say omnipotence? I understand omnipotence. Why does he say omnipotent all the time?
Some people will lose the whole thing because you pronounce something wrong, or not the way they've heard it before. And what I usually do when I say, some say that omnipotence, but I say it omnipotent so I can get a clear awareness. Potent means, you know, in it. It's really all in it. I mean, it's really, you know, a lot in it. And so when I say omnipotent, I mean God is in it a lot. I mean, He's all there. See, so He's really potent in things. Potent means to me a lot of it in there, right? So God is all in there. He's a lot in there. He's omnipotent. You see. And so I'll give an explanation if I use something and I see somebody going, you know, they go, eyebrow raise, or they go, want to get that? See? You have to learn to respond to the audience. You're not just up there, I'm going to run out on them. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I did my thing. And some people get up and they just run out on the group and then they walk away, you see. I'm just going to say what I got to say and I'm going to get out of here. Okay, now, boom, and they leave. And whether the group has responded or not responded, they couldn't tell you. Well, what did they think of your talk today? Oh, I don't know. I'm just up there giving. I don't know nothing. All I know is what I said, and that's what I stand on. And then go right to defense, you see. Rate, the speed of utterance. It's important to take and correlate the speed of your voice, how fast it is coming out, how fast you are giving the information. Now, when people need to copy notes, you notice how I go over the terms at a speed that they can copy them at. And I'll go back over them, and I'll give that time. And I'll watch the people writing it down. See? And when I see they're done, then I know I can go on to the next one. And some of them go, and they got it written down. Other ones are going, how in the heck you spell patience? Let's see, patience. Okay, you know. And they're trying to get that, and the other one's going, well, heck with it, just P-A-Y, that's good. I'll know that's patience, you know. Other ones are spelling it out because they know how it spells right out, you see. So different people are going to take notes at different speeds. They're also going to take and get what you say at a certain speed. And if you're talking too fast and you're not watching when their mind's wandering off over here thinking about what you said, you'll be on to another subject and they'll go, wait, where did that come from? I'm still over here, you see. So the speed that you are giving out your talk, the speed of that, how fast you're giving it out. What's the rate of your voice? That's what was going to be said, you know, and they get impatient too. So you have to know if your audience is getting patient. Because when you're in tune with them, no time. When you're in the flow, when you have a good rate of speed with the audience, there's no time. Because there's no separation there. And you can move your audience much faster and give them much more energy. So you can speed them up where they need to be speeded up. Tell them, now stop, you know, I see your mind's wandering. Bring your mind back. Don't let your emotions get, now don't get off in the past here. You know, identify where you feel it's going. And you don't have to say, okay, you stop wondering. I saw you wondering over there. Now don't be wondering like that. You don't have to confront the person like that. Weren't you wondering over there? Didn't you just wonder? You drifted a little bit over there just before I said that. Right? Tell the truth. See? You were wondering a little bit, right? Okay. See, well, you can pick it up right away. Well, right away, they're going to say, oh, no, I wasn't doing nothing. See? You're going to just throw them in defense. And if they got their defense up, you're not going to get through. You're not going to get your healing through. You're not going to get your message through. You can do whatever you want to do. I love you. See? That took the pressure off. See? The heat went out of her body and out of her aura. Let's see, when I started pinning her down, her aura started getting a little warmer. I could feel it. Ooh, there's heat coming out of this. I can get her. See. And in the first part of the training, if you're working with somebody you're giving direct, you can do that. You can confront them with it and watch them build up the pressure and then poke a hole in it. Let it go out. You see. Or let it stay there and build and give them information at that level, and they'll start seeing how that works. That impacted consciousness, impacted attention, concentrated attention. You see. Observed, concentrated attention. Attention has the ability of merging and also being concentrated and observed as well. Getting the power of that, you see. So the rate of speed. Now the pitch and projection of the voice. The pitch and projection. Pitching is actually pitching your voice. You're pitching it out from you. You're not pitching it out and holding on to it. See how that kind of dies off? Pitch it. Catch. See, you're pitching your voice. That again is the visualization. Pitch it to their ears. You see, some people just talk to the heart of the individual all the time. I talk to their head centers, and after I'm talking for a while, somebody will say, "Gee, I feel a pressure here in my brow," which is called the psychic band. You see, so they get the psychic band, which brings them more psychic powers, higher spiritual powers, and that, by creating that on the individual's head. So I'll talk to that level, that chakra, and I'll keep talking to that level of consciousness and sending the energy in there, and they'll start expanding. Or they'll feel like their head's opening up when I talk to the center of their head. You see. Usually I talk in their ears because that's where hearing is controlled. And I want them to hear what I'm saying. And I want them to hear by hearing, not by listening. If they have to listen, they're not going to get as much as hearing. So in pitch and projection, you want them to hear you, not to listen to you. I don't want anybody to listen to me. I want you all to hear me. There's a difference. Listening is aggressive. That means that your audience has to do something. You want your audience to be relaxed so they don't have to do something. So you're pitching to them. You're pitching your voice and you're projecting your voice to them. Now the projection gives an animation to the voice. An animation that can be visualized. It conjures up or paints pictures into consciousness. And so you are painting pictures with your words, with your voice. And they're happy pictures, they're glorious pictures, or they're ugly, rotten pictures. They're the monster pictures. Something, a fuzzy, ugly looking thing. Or there's something very nice, very gentle, calm pictures. A beautiful little angel flowing. So you paint the picture with your voice. You're also imaging into form a picture, because there is a picture with everything you're saying. The picture appears before you say it, and what you want the person to get is the same picture that appears to you. You want to pass that picture on, you see. And so you want to animate the voice to bring in the picture. And so when you are pitching and projecting, you also want that animation and color to go in. They want to control the location of the sound. Even when I'm facing the wall, I'm still projecting my voice at you. So I see it bounce off the wall and control where it's going. Control where it's going. You want the biggest key? This is all illusion. And you're controlling the illusion. There's only one reality, and that's God, and everything else is an illusion. It's all transitory, all passing. And so you're in the play of consciousness. You're an actor on the stage of life in this illusion. And one day you may look like a fool, another day you may look like a saint. And it depends on your projection and on your controlling what's coming out of you. So the location of the sound, where you're sending the sound. And you should practice that. projecting your voice. Put a tape recorder in the back of the room and stand in the front of the room and talk in the tape recorder, practicing projecting your voice until when you turn the recorder on, it's heard very clear in the back of the room. And when you play it back. And so practice by doing that. We used to take and form a circle, and we'd put the tape recorder in the middle, and I'd say, okay, everybody chant into the tape recorder. Now, I was the same distance as everybody else was from the tape recorder, but my voice was the loudest and clearest in there, and I wasn't projecting any louder than anybody else, but I was directing where the location of the sound was going. And there was times when people would come into the room and I didn't want them to record what I was saying, so they didn't get it on their tape recorder either, because I controlled the sound going into them at a higher level than the audio frequency of the tape recorder could pick up. And some teachers, when you take and they get working with you and you listen to their tape, and about in the middle of the tape they're going, and it sounds like they're talking so fast you can hardly understand what they're saying. But while you were there, you were understanding it perfectly, because they were controlling the location of the sound, the animation, the color of the voice, because your voice is giving out a color. Every time you talk, you are sending out a spectrum of light. You're sending darkness or light out from you. That's going out from you. That's radiating out through the science of the spoken word. And you're either sending things that caress the auras or cut them, soothe them, or disturb them. You can say, I hate you. Oh, I really do. I hate you. Doesn't feel too bad, does it? I hate you. I hate you. I really hate you. See the difference? I hate you! I really hate you! I hate you. I really hate you. See? It's all in that projection. 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 You don't want to unnerve your audience unless you want to unnerve them. You see, you don't want to do that unless you want to do that. There's some points where you want to unnerve them, where they're sitting there and it's not getting them, so you want to shake their nervous system up a little bit. So you do something. Hey, how about that? Go, wait, what? Right? So there are times when you want to unnerve them. But you don't want to go on nerving them when they don't want to be unnerved. You want to take them to a point where you can, if you're going to do that, but you don't want to be unnerving to your audience. Start putting them into positions they have to make a bunch of decisions and stuff right now. See? People will pay you $1 million for you to make them laugh. They'll complain at nickel for you trying to tell them how to think. They'll gripe about thinking. But if you satisfy